The Secret Service director announcing her resignation following the attempted assassination of former President Donald Trump and a heated hearing on Capitol Hill. ABC 15 has extensively covered the crisis around sober living homes and the operators accused of fraud in Arizona. Over the past week, a crippling cyber attack has caused major disruptions at car dealerships here in Arizona and across North America. While the wait is over for basketball fans, the WNBA regular season tips off tonight. It's arguably the most anticipated season since the league began in 1996.
It really was. A bash is a great way to describe it, John. Christina, the NFL, the Super Bowl host committee should all be feeling pretty good with themselves right about now. It was wildly successful.
The tweet today that Carrie put out, do you have anything to say back to that?
I haven't even seen her tweet.
I can read it to you. She wants to purge the pledge, anthem, and constitution from our schools.
I have no idea what she's talking about. I really don't.
We saw this go from a $12 billion investment to a $40 billion investment almost instantaneously, with President Biden here discussing the new investment from TSMC and what this will do here in the Valley.
Another big day in Manhattan as cross-examination begins for Michael Cohen, a former lawyer for Donald Trump and the prosecution's star witness.
It was just an interesting tone that he took, very confident, but really still reserved, because these are all early votes, and Fontes knows that. As you can tell behind me, the Democratic Party here, very excited, very happy to be out here. But again, Fontes taking a little bit more of a reserved approach at the podium and in our interview.
This is ABC 15 Arizona at 5.
The search continues for a missing hiker swept away by catastrophic flooding at the Grand Canyon. We're hearing from rescue crews as they work around the clock. Plus, Valley officials are looking to make our roads safer. Reducing the speed limit could be the answer. How you can be a part of that conversation.
For the same one bedroom, I used to pay $1,300 back in 2018, and now I'm paying $2,300 for the same apartment.
And rent prices are skyrocketing across the valley, all while it gets even more difficult to purchase a home. We're hearing from a researcher involved in that ASU recent housing crisis report. Thank you for watching ABC 15 News at 5. I'm Marissa Sarbach. We want to get right to our top story, the story making national headlines. ABC 15 has been following closely as the search for a missing hiker continues. We're now in the third day after dangerous flooding in the Grand Canyon. The National Park Service is looking for 33-year-old Shanoa Nickerson from Gilbert. She was reportedly taken by floodwaters in the Havasu Creek on Thursday. The National Park Service says you cannot pass through the trail into Supai and the falls, and there's extensive damage to the campground. Because of that, the Havasupai Tribal Council has decided to close the area for tourists until further notice. Checking in now with meteorologist Ashley DiMartino. Of course, up north, it's been very difficult for those search and rescue crews. What's it looking like for the next few days for them, Ashley? The search for answers underway after a fast-moving fire engulfed a church gym near the area of 19th Avenue and Indian School Road in Phoenix. Officials say they found flames coming from the gym that spread to classrooms on the first and second floors. The lead pastor telling us he's putting his faith in God. Fire crews were able to stop it from spreading any further. No injuries were reported. Right now, officials are working to find out the cause of the fire. Making headlines this hour, the crisis in the Middle East continues as the Israeli military carry out preemptive airstrikes in Lebanon on what it deemed, quote, terror targets. ABC's Brett Clinette in Israel with these new developments for us. ABC 15 is committed to following the latest in the Middle East. Still ahead on World News tonight, an Israeli soldier killed and 2 others injured in combat in northern Israel today. We're taking a closer look at the circumstances of what led to the death and injuries of those soldiers that were not immediately disclosed by officials. And looking ahead in our Operation Safe Road report, the city of Tempe wants to hear from the community tomorrow about proposed speed limit changes. The proposal includes reducing the speed on the north end of Mill Avenue, as well as the speed on College Avenue, First Street, and Southern. Earlier this summer, we spoke to drivers in support of those changes. A court hearing is scheduled tomorrow to discuss the Federal Trade Commission's attempts to block a major grocery chain merger. It's a story we have been tracking since the very beginning for you. Kroger is attempting to buy Albertsons for $25 billion. However, the FTC stopped the acquisition, saying it would reduce competition and lead to higher grocery prices for consumers. Kroger then sued the FTC, saying it doesn't have the authority to stop that merger. Giving back to the community, we're about to introduce you to one woman who is uplifting Arizona as she continues her passion to make homemade soap. It didn't always look possible until her family found help in something her great-grandfather was a part of decades earlier. ABC 15's Josh Cristianto has her story. Beautiful work too. Thank you, Josh. And it's no secret Arizona has become an expensive place, but a new report is shining light on just how much those prices have gone up. Plus, a new competitor looking to bring more driverless cars here to Arizona, when you could start seeing them roll onto our valley streets. We'll be right back after the break. This does not reopen the Lukeville port of entry for legal crossings. Mexicans and Americans looking to travel back and forth between the two countries will have to go to a different port. So if we take a look at this, Lukeville to Rocky Point, that's just over an hour away. But right now, what you're going to have to do, if you come from the valley, you're going to have to go all the way over here to San Luis, down into Rocky Point. Your other option would be to come here, all the way over to Nogales and down through Rocky Point. That's going to add about an hour or two to that trip, plus, of course, the wait times at the border crossing.
I'm in Rocky Point, sitting on the beach all by myself.
Rocky Point locals say this is what it usually looks like around the holidays. But with the Lukeville port of entry closed, there are almost no American tourists.
Usually, this beach is packed with people having fun, taking up the sun and using the beach, but there's nobody here. And everybody I've talked to is canceling coming down. They don't want to do the drive. It adds 6 hours to your trip.
Aaron Brown is a dual Mexican-American citizen who rents out his properties. He's only seen it like this once before, during the height of the pandemic.
I've got 7 on Sandy Beach, and I've got 7 condos here in Cholla Bay, and I've got like 12 homes, and they're all vacant. Had all my renters cancel on me, calling me and telling me they're scared to go through other towns. They don't know Mexico, and they prefer to wait till border opens up again.
Aaron says it's frustrating to see extra resources sent to the border to assist people crossing illegally, when those crossing legally can't get through the Lukeville port.
It's kind of like peeking over the wall. So you're letting all these other people come in, and you're battling, all this influx of people coming from other countries and stuff, but you don't let your own citizens back and forth across the border. I have no explanation for it.
He's hoping it reopens before Christmas week.
If it doesn't get resolved soon, we're going to see, we're going to turn into a ghost town here.
Now, of course, we've also been monitoring the Customs and Border Protection app. Lukeville currently says pending. Nogales says a 180-minute wait time, and San Luis has a 150-minute wait time.